It's really soupy. It's not time for the trails yet. But I think I can find a place to sit up here and get away from the coronavirus traffic on the bike path. I'm just gonna come right up here. Nice. Stop my watch. Awesome. All right, Saturday morning. I'm out for my super easy long run along the bike path south of town, and this is those runs that my athletes see that are the zone 2 and no higher, and usually bold all cap words, no higher. These are the key long super easy runs that are super important for a variety of reasons I've talked about many times. So not getting into that today, but here comes the sun. I'm gonna turn to the sun. But I was even just listening to a podcast last night about Kenyan training and how, you know, one key component of their training is they train very hard. They run very, very fast, but they also run really, really slow. You know, so if their marathon pace is 5-minute miles, maybe just a little under, you know, 2:08 type of time for a marathon, they're long, easy, or I should say not so much they're long runs all the time, but when they're running easy, they're 9-10 minute mile pace. Okay, so take that into consideration, and that's kind of what I'm doing today, is just nice and easy. And as always, my shoe of choice today was the S-Lab Scent 6, and this is a trail shoe, but it's an old trail shoe that I use on the road. And today I just kind of wanted something that was just basically real minimal. I could feel the ground, nice easy run, and I didn't want a lot of cushion. So this is what just felt good. I can't beat the fit with these Salomon S-Lab. They're just kind of the best fit for me. So I just wanted a nice secure fit. Like you said, you can see the tread's really worn, so they're no good for dirt, as I'm finding today in this little mud. I was all over the place, but I was hoping to get, I've been running on the side of the road, trying to get any opportunity I can to run on grass, to start getting my ankles ready for trail. And just I like running on grass. It's good form because it helps pick up your feet a little bit, and just is good training. So but I got an email today from one of my athletes. Joe, how's it going? Joe lives in Steamboat, but is getting ready to go to Arizona for the spring. And he had a couple questions about nutrition, specifically on how he's now going to the store and noticed how produce during this coronavirus pandemic is really pretty good, and selection's pretty good, and that's what I'm experiencing here in Jackson. I go into the produce section, and that selection has really not changed to what it's normally like, but what has changed is all the crap is gone. You know, you go to the cracker aisle and all the packaged goods are what's gone. But getting back to Joe, his question was, you know, about just my thoughts on going vegetarian, veganism, versus Joe enjoys fish and meat just like I do. And how, you know, just what my thoughts were on that. How, you know, is that something worth exploring? And absolutely. And also he had a question about nose breathing and how he has sinus issues and how maybe that could help with this sinus stuff. You can see I have a deviated septum, so I have a hard time nose breathing. I'm a mouth breather most of the time, but I've come to really be able to improve my sinuses, even though I can hardly breathe out of one side of my nostril. You can kind of see how that one is really closed up. Got a forearm in football that shut that one down. But the point of this video today is during this time of uncertainty and frustration, maybe anxiety, whatever word you want to attach to the unknown of, hey, we don't know what's going to happen here, and we're really thrown out of our rhythm in every way. Every part of our day has kind of been tossed on its ear and turned upside down on us, and how can we deal with that? And it got me thinking about how in my book I talk, kind of the overriding theme of my book is that self-discipline is the ultimate form of performance. And I truly believe that. And, you know, I'm a very competitive person. And so I always like to be competitive, mainly with myself, but maybe even more so important, I love challenges with myself. For example, I was doing a lot of travel to China and India. There's Johnny, our designer. Headed to the airport shuttle to the factory.
But as far as how we get over here, because this is where sushi's over here, McDonald's, KFC,
supermarket.
Okay, but I just sometimes think we come a different direction.
No more.
Okay.
Okay, here we are at the factory.
We want to move this side up.
Yeah.
Like this.
Okay.
So that's that. Move it up. And then can we move this to like that? And then add an eyelet. One of those there.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay.
And then is there any way to get rid of this stretch? See this weird stretch? Can we fix this?
You mean stretch?
You see how it's pulled? It's pulled weird. But I guess we're using a totally different material.
Right, exactly.
So maybe we don't.
See
how this reacts.
Exactly.
And then we make this.
It's not going to stretch.
Red Clarino. 0.6.
Okay.
And can we put logo here?
Yes.
And here.
And these flights are, you know, anywhere from 12 to 15 hours at a time. And most times the rows in the airplane are four wide, so I'm unfortunately most times in between people. So you're sitting here like this. So I would oftentimes create a challenge for myself, is that I'm going to sit there with my eyes shut and not get up. Get up to go use the restroom if I need to, but I am basically going to sit there motionless and think for that 12 to 15 hours. And it creates a lot of creativity with myself. I can often write. I will jot down notes during that time, but ultimately it's creating self-discipline in a situation that's not very comfortable, traveling that long in an airplane side by side with people you don't know. And again, creating a challenge, just like an ultra marathon, just like a race. You know, we're dealing with the same mindset when we're out racing of dealing with all the adversity that's thrown at us through the race. And so I try to create that on the airplane, create a challenge, because it motivates me. And it's my time to be in a situation that's a lot beyond my control, and to be okay with that situation and create the challenge that motivates me to see it as a challenge and to get through it. And so that becomes that self-discipline that ultimately I feel like I can improve my performance in any situation. So I'm taking this airplane situation, an uncomfortable situation for me, and creating it a challenge, and I'm taking control of the situation and improving my performance. I'm improving my mindset so I can deal with any situation that's thrown with me. And oftentimes we hear the quote, adversity builds character. I think that's completely wrong. I think adversity reveals character. And if we can practice self-discipline and put ourselves in a performance enhancing situation that allows us to practice what we ultimately are revealed about ourselves will help us when we're in situations like this coronavirus where everything's turns upside down and we feel like we don't have any control. Okay, so where I'm going with this is that there's many ways in this situation that we can take control and create self-discipline within ourselves to feel like we're improving as an athlete, as a runner. You know, we can't, all of us can't run our normal maybe routine right now. They just shut down the track on us yesterday, so I can't go to the track anymore. The parks are closed, so I'm fortunate enough to have a place like this to run still. But many of you, you know, shout out to Colin, one of my athletes in Romania. You know, he can't go more than 5 minutes around his house, so he got a treadmill. He moved everything inside, so he's training on the treadmill every day now. So he's making adjustments. But my point is that there's things that we can do to take control of our daily life in this situation to still feel like we're performing and training, quote unquote. So some examples. Hey, maybe this is your time to experiment with intermittent fasting, going 16 hours fasting and 8 hours of feeding window, and experiment with that. Perfect time to see what that does for you. Another thing is maybe you look at your nutrition, going back to Joe's example. Maybe you experiment with going vegetarianism, or maybe you experience going without sugar for 28 days, or something that you can really feel like is a conscious awareness that's required out of you, out of your daily life, that's based around your nutrition. You know, don't eat the crap. Okay, maybe even more importantly, maybe this is a time you go cold turkey with alcohol, if you drink alcohol, and see what the benefits of that bring you as far as performance. Okay, and it's not so much the outcome that you're doing this for, but it's that self-discipline and awareness that's all throughout your day that creates a really good mental outlook for yourself. When you're doing things that are out of self-discipline, we start to feel really, really good about ourselves, versus pulling out the tub of ice cream and eating that. We often feel like that's going to give us joy, and it might give us joy. Most of the time, the reason we want to have that tub of ice cream is the feeling of the want, actually the acquisition of it. Hey, the ice cream's in the freezer. Wouldn't that be nice to go get and have? Okay, that's mainly where the enthusiasm for having that comes in. As soon as we start to eat that, we might have a little bit of joy, but then, well, how do we feel once we've eaten that tub of ice cream? We start feeling a little bit crappy about ourselves, maybe. And there's other examples, alcohol, whatever, you know, all those things that we know that maybe aren't that great for us, but we do out of fear that, hey, this is going to give us joy. But ultimately, it's that joy, or that supposed camouflage joy, that ultimately makes us feel not so great about ourselves. So when we introduce self-discipline and take away the ice cream, take away the alcohol, take away the sugar, do something different with our training, that self-discipline feeds on itself and it makes us feel good about ourselves. We have a purpose. And then whenever we have a good, sound purpose for ourselves, we're going to feel good about ourselves. And that can be really a key ingredient right now when, again, things are turned upside down on us. And now you have control. Now you feel like you have a challenge throughout your day that, again, makes us feel good. Just like crossing that finish line. But ultimately, the good feeling about crossing that finish line isn't because you ultimately are crossing that finish line, but it's all the training, all the self-discipline, all the adversity that revealed yourself throughout the race that creates that good feeling of crossing the finish line. Okay, so look at your daily life, see what self-discipline you can impose on your daily life and create kind of that performance mindset of, hey, I can enhance my training, I can enhance my performance by starting to do some new things, take away some things in my life, create that self-discipline, and see how it makes you feel during this time. So, all right, I was gonna kind of do this along the way, but I just kind of got into it. So I'm just into my warm-up still. So I'm gonna head out South Park. Man, the sun feels nice. It was about 20 degrees this morning, so a little bit warmer than yesterday, and just really nice temperature. So the sun's coming out and it feels good, and I'm gonna hit my run. So nice zone 2. All right, remember, self-discipline, give it a try, create. And I would love to hear what self-discipline you created in your daily life, because other people like to hear that stuff. It helps spur creativity. So throw it down in the comment sections. We'd love to hear what you're doing. All right, I knew this would happen. One, I found dirt all the way along here. It's really dry, really good. A little bit of snow, but it feels so good, even though if it's just 800 meters. I've been kind of going back and forth a little bit, but I knew once I started running, I'd come up with some more ideas for you guys of kind of maybe changing up your training and changing things up and giving you a focus. So during this time, like I said, you know, our training regime has maybe been turned upside down. So here's some ideas of maybe something that you can do now that maybe you're having to run less, and maybe think about running at night, throwing the head torch on and getting out at night and doing a run, just creating some adventure around it. Another one would be, you know, I have my athletes test for the mile all the time, so maybe now is the time, if you're on the treadmill, or again not able to run as much or as long as you normally do, focus this time on improving your mile. Do a lot of speed work. Take this time and have a goal of improving your mile time by, you know, 5, 10, 15 seconds, whatever it is. So another one, you know, maybe this is again a time to transition and starting to use more minimal shoes for yourself, and use it as a form of strength training, and training the feet and training your legs. And that's a perfect opportunity when you're not able to run as long as you are normally used to. You know, take 15, 20 minutes now and go out with a nice minimal shoe, and you feel like you're accomplishing something, when normally a 15, 20 minute run might not be as significant for you. So again, it's giving you something to strive for and feel like you're accomplishing something throughout your day. Another one is, again, just piggyback off of that, train your feet. You know, got a lot of videos on training your feet and how important foot strength is. Take this opportunity in your house to do foot strength, barefoot foot strength exercises. Great opportunity for that. Another one would be to just add frequency. Like I said, you know, go out at night, go out 3 or 4 times during the day and accomplish 15, 20 minutes each time, and see how good that makes you feel. There's lots of ways to accomplish maybe what you're wanting to accomplish during this time, but more importantly, maybe giving yourself a different focus so you feel like you can't accomplish something, versus having the mindset of, oh, I can't go for my 2-hour run. What am I going to do? Create a different goal. Okay. All right. Those are some ideas. Now I'm out of here. Look at that trail. Let's go.